Did you know that it takes a simple phone call to get scammed and issue out all your personal information? It's called the power of social engineering, where scammers call and convince you to give crucial information. As more people fall into this trap, the more confident they're getting every day. But it's not too late. You can still be able to save yourself even before it happens. My name is Masi Milanoi, and this is Moolah Insider, where we are all about personal finance and your relationship with money. And this week, we're taking a look at the digital scams and how to save yourself from this trap. And remember, if you haven't watched our previous episodes, be sure to log on to www.moolah.co.ke and link with us on our social media pages. Effective 7th July, your voice calls, data and SMS, as well as integrated plans including all-in-one, will cost higher following the implementation of the 20% excise duty. According to a notice by telecom company Safaricom, roaming and international calling and SMS rates have also been revised to reflect the 20% excise duty. Fiber to homes, fiber to business have also been affected. Corporate post-paid products such as Zidisha Plus, cloud, security, colocation and IoT have also been revised accordingly. The prices of these will reflect in the next monthly invoice. However, customer data bundle prices remain unchanged, including no expiry bundles, daily bundles, among others. Still on excess duty, the excess duty will also affect prices of your loans. According to notifications from banks this month, all loan-related fees and commissions will be subject to the 20% excise duty. To our other top stories, Safaricom has officially announced the Ethiopia MD. The Global Partnership for Ethiopia, GPE, has appointed Anwar Sosa as the Managing Director of Safaricom Ethiopia, effective 1st July 2021. He will report to the board of Ethiopia entity and Safaricom PLC CEO Peter Ndegwa. Anwar is currently the Managing Director of Vodacom DRC, the Chairperson of Vodakash M-Pesa, a position he has held since 2017. During his tenure, he cemented Vodacom DRC as the largest Vodacom operation outside of South Africa by driving major strides in operational performance, crossing the 500 million USD in service revenue mark for the first time in 2020. Anwar will lead Safaricom Ethiopia on behalf of the Global Partnership for Ethiopia Consortium. He will be responsible for execution of the consortium's goal to bring about transformational economic and social impact in Ethiopia and positively enhance the lives of its over 112 million people. Anwar is a Greek national who holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from the American College of Greece and a master's degree in marketing from Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. Now to our main story this week. It only takes a phone call, a text, or an email to get scammed. According to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, numerous cases of online fraud are reported each day as more Kenyans continue to fall into the trap. With more transactions happening online now more than ever, Kenyans are becoming gullible. However, experts have advised you can still operate on a safe space online. You just have to be cautious. Take a look.
I'm sending you a digital and you will get the one you can remember easily. But before I send you the digital, we need to terminate the old one. Which one were you using before, the 6 digits?
My PIN?
Yeah.
No, I cannot give you my PIN.
Every day, thousands of Kenyans are falling prey to such scams.
So a lot of people are getting scammed because they're not aware of the little things or the little changes that are coming in. People are being social engineered. Until today, social engineering is still a thing. And what I mean by that is somebody calling you or asking you to give the details. And they pretend to be a bank, they pretend to be an e-commerce shop, and you get scammed.
According to the PwC Global Economic Crime and Fraud Survey, 36% of the respondents from Kenya experienced economic crimes and lost 10 million shillings, with 2% reporting to have lost an excess of 500 million shillings.
The worst part is now people who are actually doing phone calls. So they call you, say they pretend to be from the bank, they give you so many offers, there's a new offer that is there, or they say things like they want to get you to they want to change some card details because your card has been compromised and everything. most people actually fall for it and they easily give out the details. So they ask you your date of birth, or sometimes they can even confirm that because you've left your ID somewhere at a building and they've collected all that information. I'm not saying give the wrong details, but majority of the time, I feel that's where they get information from a lot of buildings, and they take that information, they take your phone number, they know your full names because your ID number also, they know it. So somebody confirming those small details makes you feel like it's actually real, and you give out your details, like your M-Pesa details or your PIN numbers, and there's a very high chance that PIN number you have used has been used almost everywhere else. Where some people are very successful in doing SIM swaps, they find a way to replace a SIM through an agent who allows them to do that. There's a lot of collaborations between agents and these fraudsters. So that's the easiest way that is coming right now. It's happening too much, and we just have to be aware and be alert on the new methods they're using. They're getting confident, and then when they call, they're not going to slow down on how they want to actually get to scam you.
According to Anthony Mwai, an expert in electronic security, online transactions can be safe only when you take certain precautions, especially when shopping online.
The less you give, the better. I'm on the opinion that especially when using these e-commerce websites, I don't fill in all the details they ask for the obvious reasons. I don't know where they're going to store it, how they're going to use it. So I try and use as least as possible. I won't give them my address per se. I won't give them all my names and IDs, numbers. I'll try and give them as little as possible, enough for me to make that transaction. Simply because there are so many e-commerce platforms coming up, and they're not as much regulated. I can open up a shop and I can put in e-commerce platform and I can ask you for all your data so I can tie you down. So my intention is to tie you down. But for the user, I'm only coming into that site to buy a piece of furniture that I'll not have to come back again. So the less you give, I think the better it is.
Dr. Bright Gameli says you should be vigilant, especially when shopping online.
A typical example is somewhere on Instagram. I saw a lot of people complaining about having pages that are saying they're selling shoes or bags, and when they place orders, they say you have to pay before you get your order. But once you pay, the good does not come. These people don't have a physical shop. They change the name of their page so fast, so quickly that you don't get any response back. And you're paying without a pay bill. You're paying directly to a phone number, which means they can switch off that phone number for the next 2 months. You'll get frustrated. You don't call them back.
So how do you verify pages online?
Majority of the time, you can check to see if their account has been changing over time. Like the new names have been coming very often. That is one. Sometimes you might not be able to check. So that doesn't mean if you cannot check, that means the page is legit. No. Sometimes you have the page even verified. People have verified pages and they tell you to actually do this. However, I would say the first thing to do, if they tell you to pay before the goods are delivered, refuse that. Yeah. Make sure they deliver the goods and you pay. I know this is a little risk there for the person selling as well. But the thing is, there's more risk to the person who is paying for the goods, because the person who is delivering, or the rider, has to make sure that you have paid and show a confirmation message before he releases the goods. So if the person has not paid, then you don't. So it basically solves the part of the person selling and the person buying. And also be aware that paying to phone numbers is a risk. You have to pay to a pay bill number or an M-Pesa, a till number where you can actually have some verification. I know some of the criminals are getting very confident on having multiple bank accounts where they register till numbers to, which allow pay bill numbers to, which is going to a bank account. So that is another confidence they're having. But I say insist on paying when the goods are being delivered, and not when they actually tell you to pay later. To pay before the goods have to be delivered. A lot of people are being conned on that on social media platforms. And trust me, for me, I say if they have conned you and you have not gotten what you wanted, report them. Report them to the police if you have to. Share that information out there on other social media platforms. Let people get to know that these people are actually scamming you.
And how can companies protect themselves online?
You've got to have the right security solutions that is updated, well maintained, and then also how you distribute this data within your cloud. Don't just dump it into one folder, have it spread. And actually, if you're able to spread this information across different locations and different servers, that's good. So you have like 4 servers, one for HR, one for legal, one for finance, and then also you have all these backed up somewhere else differently. That's not accessed by anyone. And then having backups every other day, just to make sure that should anything happen locally, your data is kind of secured fine. You'll continue to run, even though you may have been compromised. But then again, if you have the right security solutions, then hopefully you'll be in the right space.
So now that we've heard from the experts about how to protect yourself from the scams and also how you can fall into their prey, what are some of the scams that you can easily fall into? The first one is phishing scam. It's one of the most common forms of social engineering, and chances are that you have seen quite a few phishing emails that you may not even know it. Some phishing emails are easy to spot, like the ones claiming to be from the Prince of Nigeria who needs your help laundering millions of dollars. Others are emails that claim to be from your bank or someone you work with, which are much harder to detect. The second one is phishing scam. The fraudster will contact you on your phone pretending to be a bank representative or other authoritative person who requires information such as your ID number, banking details, and login credentials to your online banking profile in order to solve a problem or prevent your account from being closed. The other one is SMS phishing or smishing. It occurs when a fraudster sends a text message to an individual's cell phone in an attempt to get them to devalue or give sensitive information. Similar to other attacks, this usually requires the victim to respond by clicking on to the link provided in order to either update or the security or to unlock their account. The smishing URL gets shortened by bit.ly URL in certain cases and are sent to multiple recipients of different cell phone numbers. The smishing link requests the following information: your account number, PIN, full password, cell phone numbers. Other types of scams include SIM swap, card skimming, and 419 scams. If you receive an email with an offer that seems too good to refuse, it is a 419 scam. Now that you know how you fall prey to scams and the type of scams, then how can you know that you're about to lose money? Now, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, you are about to lose your money to fraudsters if you have received an email or mobile phone text message informing you that you have won a certain amount of money, yet you did not enroll in any competition. Were you asked to act immediately to avoid losing an opportunity to get a particular prize? The other one is that if you've been asked to pay some money or a fee for a free gift or access to some unclaimed money. The other one is that if you have received an email requesting you to assist someone, mostly a foreigner, to access funds in an account that someone inherited. If you have received a phone call from someone purporting to be from a particular company and asks you for personal information such as your PIN, password, bank account details, credit card number, etc. Now that takes us to our word of the week. Our word of the week is wangiri, and it's not an African word. It's a Japanese word meaning one telephone ring and cut that sees criminals defrauding unwitting victims when they return a missed call, mostly an international call. The call is charged to the victim at a high cost, with the scammers claiming the fee. Now, the scam exploits people's innate curiosity to follow up an international missed call. I mean, if you're to receive an international missed call, wouldn't you want to call back? But be careful. Well, that's our word of the week. Well, you are watching Moolah Insider, and if you haven't watched our previous episodes, be sure to log on to www.moolah.co.ke and remember to link with us on our social media pages. Well, you are watching Moolah Insider. Now, heading on to our pursuits, co-working spaces have taken off in Nairobi, from freelancers to startup entrepreneurs. It's a fun and a great way to work without incurring the cost that come with an office. Toffee Tribe is an innovative startup that saw a gold mine in this opportunity and partnered with restaurants in Nairobi to provide affordable and enjoyable workspaces for the growing number of remote workers. Here's how they did it.
From freelancers to startup businesses and even large corporations, Many people are adopting a new way of working that is utilizing co-working spaces and even using restaurants as their remote offices.
We transform restaurants into drop-in workspaces. And we do this so that we can make life a bit easier for remote workers, freelancers, creatives, students who need a space where they can just drop in and work and they don't need long-term commitments.
It started from us working together a lot in restaurants, and we ended up feeling like we're spending so much money giving to the restaurants, and if you find yourself 5 days or 3 days in a restaurant every day, you feel like you spent a lot of money. So in the end, we're like, okay, how can I benefit from this and at the same time feel comfortable to still come and work from here?
The Tribers are modern professionals who are freelancers, who are remote workers who work for for international companies, but they are based in Kenya. Entrepreneurs, people who are running startups, people who are running their own businesses. That is our ideal target audience or customer or community.
The beauty of this working model is that it's suitable for every kind of worker. From the introvert who likes to hide away in a meeting room all day to get their work done, to the talkative person who enjoys the occasional chat with the person seated across them as they work.
The benefits that I've gotten from being with Toffee Tribe would be having a place you can just, work and get work done without actually having a very serious kind of, environment. Most of the co-working spaces that you will go to kind of have a serious feel to it. Same thing to the office. I'd say, working in a restaurant kind of gives you, that kind of chill environment, and it doesn't hurt to have coffee all day as well.
So then how does it work? How does someone become a Toffee Tribe member?
You subscribe to our page, our website. You buy a membership pass. You have to download our app and then use the app to check in. The restaurant has a tablet, so when you get there, you scan the QR code and then that's it.
We have 3 membership options. We have a day pass which goes for 750, and we have a weekly pass which goes for 3,000 bob, and we have a monthly membership which goes for 8,000.
I take day passes, and I started working remotely and using Toffee Tribe in June 2020. Since then, I've experienced about 4 of their spaces. I can come, I have a dedicated desk, I have Wi-Fi, I can meet a community, which is a big deal for me. So meeting other entrepreneurs, other people who are also, enjoying working remotely. And when they said unlimited coffee, I was sold. I'm like, sign me up. It's a new experience, and you'd enjoy it if you just throw yourself in there. In terms of value, 100%. To be honest, so far, so good.
The idea of working from a restaurant is exciting. Not only does it offer a great ambience, but being a Toffee Tribe member comes with additional member discounts and benefits.
Some of the restaurants have a Toffee Tribe breakfast, which is only for the Toffee Tribe members. Others have menu discount, 10%, 25%, just something for you to feel, even if I'm working from here 3 days a week, I'm saving a little bit of it if I work through Toffee Tribe. If my bill was to be 3,000 if I'm here the whole day and I get a 15% discount, that's a good thing.
And while the discounts are good, other members see this as an opportunity to explore the Nairobi restaurant scene.
One thing that caught my eye about the idea is the fact that it allows you to explore the dining scene in Nairobi. In as much as you enjoy working from home or working remotely, you get to discover small, simple gems like Chesonia or Che cafes. And it's taking a break from working from the usual spots like the Javas and the art cafes. There's so many hidden places, hidden spots that you tend to discover through working with Toffee Tribe. Like I didn't know about Ati. It kind of allows you to know more about the local scene, I'd say the local dining scene in Nairobi, as much as you get to work remotely.
The idea of working from a cafe or restaurant isn't uncommon when you travel to cities across the world, like New York, London, or even Tokyo. But it's a fairly new concept here in Nairobi.
in other countries, especially like America, for example, coffee shops like Starbucks have a huge influx of people who are coming into work because the internet is available. They can grab their coffee, which helps them work even. So we do see that also like happening in Kenya, and in this corona period, especially for us as Lava Latte.
This concept is creating new passive income for restaurants such as Lava Latte.
We actually have more and more people remote working since COVID.
Given that corona, a lot of people are working from home, they're trying to get away from their children or their chores and stuff like that and be able to find a place where they can focus. So we do see a huge trend in that happening. And even people opting to not have office spaces and come work in places like restaurants. We've seen more people coming into work, especially like during mid-mornings up to like early afternoon. So many people come into work because there's internet available. They can easily grab their coffee and grab their lunch, and there's like that peace of mind.
Another additional benefit of being a Toffee Tribe member is that you get to go on workcations. According to the ladies, having a change of your working environment literally brings a new air to your productivity and creativity.
So it's happening a lot around the world, especially for remote workers and digital nomads. They are doing a lot of vacations. So vacation is basically to help you recharge your productivity, unwind, relax, get some work done, meet new people, have fun. That's our vacation.
So what does the future hold for Toffee Tribe?
We do have plans to expand. We do have plans to grow. We do have plans to be the leading, like your go-to spot if you want to do anything remotely. You want to have a consultancy team, join your team for 3 months. We want to have that kind of a pool within Toffee Tribe where you go to our page and you search for who's hiring, who's job seeking. And of course, we want to expand and have our spaces in Rwanda. We want to have our spaces in Morocco.
Well, it's all about seeing an opportunity, seizing it and running off with it. And that is all that Toffee Tribe did. Well, now let's take a look at our leading indicators, starting off with the stocks and foreign exchange rates for this week. Now let's take a look at the prices of your groceries and commodities from selected supermarkets. Well, that's all we had for you this week on Moolah Insider. My name is Masi Milanoi, and remember to log on to www.moolah.co.ke for more stories and link with us on our social media pages. And well, as for the theme of the bulletin, remember to be cautious and be vigilant as you do your businesses in the online space. See you next week.